Just curious how everything's going in terms of the preparation for this upcoming fight.
Oh, everything is going great, Gary. I tell you, if anything, we're having to pull the reins as hard as we can because, I mean, Deontay's ready to fight right now, and but the fight is not right now.
Right.
So you know, the thing is to try to peak at the right time where you're better on fight night than you would be the day after or the day before, and that peak, that place that you're trying to find is a moving target. You know, it changes day by day. And so we're trying to get it just right, but I feel like we're right on the money. We're where we need to be, and we're excited for fight week, which is going to be coming up real soon. We head out, I think, on the 18th, and the fight's on the 23rd.
Indeed. Ortiz has a reputation for maybe being as tough a heavyweight as there is in the division. Deontay got past him. A lot of people in the fight world, particularly with a fight looming next year, a rematch against Fury, which could be worth millions on top of millions. A lot of people in the fight world have said, why is Deontay taking this fight? I thought he answered that last night, and you've said this before. He wants to remove all doubt. And even though he won that fight, he was ill. He said that last night. He wasn't feeling well. He went ahead and went through with the fight and got the W. But you get the sense that, as I said, he wants to remove all doubt, and he wants to get rid of this guy in a hurry in this upcoming fight. Am I on to something there?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what it is. I mean, nobody else is fighting the caliber of guys that Deontay Wilder is fighting. Nobody asked to fight Ortiz the first time, much less the second time.
Right.
And I think Ortiz thought, given that he performed well the first fight, that a lot of doors would open, but they didn't. In fact, he was more avoided. So leave it to Deontay to reach back out and say, you know what? Nobody wants to fight you. I'll fight you again. Let's do this. And I think Deontay wants to show what he can do when he's perfectly healthy, and his weight is good and his training is good, and he's not dealing with illness and those type things. He wants to show the world what he can do. As far as Ortiz is concerned, of course, this is his last shot at the title, and he knows it, and he's training like it. So you're going to get the best of both guys.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to ask you about Ortiz because you're right. A lot of guys have dodged him. They just don't want anything to do with him. He's a southpaw. He's a big, strong, individual, and I thought showed well. And as you said, in the first fight against Deontay, outside of the obvious, what makes him such a difficult opponent, other than the obvious, as I said, the physical characteristics that he has? But he seems like, for a guy that size, that he also is a clever boxer in the ring. He seems to be a guy who is at times difficult to hit.
He is. He's so crafty. That's the word you hear bandied about a lot. Crafty. He's been in there for so long. He's Cuban, and he comes from that Cuban amateur system where they fight so many times. And he's been at it. There's nothing really that anyone can throw at him that he hasn't seen. He's the type guy that you could put a gun in his face and his blood pressure wouldn't go up 1 point.
Jeez.
There's nothing in a boxing ring he hasn't seen or that he doesn't feel he can deal with. And I think he was actually shocked that Deontay was able to have the success. I really believe Ortiz thought it was only going to be a matter of a few rounds and he would knock Wilder out, and he just didn't believe that he could be beaten. And when Deontay did it, I think it shook him. But like any true warrior, he went back to the gym, went back to getting built back up in the rankings, winning all his fights, and he says he's wiser and better for it, and that he's going to be better this time. We will see. Of course, what I think. I think that Deontay is going to perform and in a spectacular fashion have something that people talk about for forever. I think that's the kind of performance we're about to see from Deontay Wilder.
Well, I do too, and so let's just assume what we both believe, and that's that Deontay Wilder is going to beat Luis Ortiz and knock him out and get through that fight. What is the timetable looking like for Wilder Fury 2? Would that be the next fight? Is it automatic that that's going to happen? What stands in the way of us getting as a boxing public that second fight that we all are clamoring for?
Well, I think just to get the particulars out of the way about Ortiz, that's going to be November 23rd on Fox pay-per-view from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. So that's where our focus is, because we know that there is no Fury fight if we don't get the Ortiz fight. That being said, there has been talk and there has been paperwork signed for a potential February 22nd date against Tyson Fury. I think that potentially could land in Vegas as well. And so that's going to be a pretty quick turnaround, which we love, because Deontay's always in shape. He's ready to go. That would give us about a month off, and then we'd be right back in the gym. But we know well, and we are fully aware that Ortiz is the real deal, and that we've got a big task in front of us before we can really think about Tyson Fury. But, of course, in boxing, if you don't line your opponents up ahead of time, other people get them.
That's right.
And that's why you have to do that. It's not that we're looking ahead, but it's one of those things where if you don't lock somebody in, man, they take something else, and there you are.
Yeah, with that in mind, and I certainly understand the focus is on Ortiz, no doubt about it. And but let's talk about Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz a rematch. And if eventually, and again, I'm talking down the road, but if Deontay takes care of Ortiz and then beats Fury, would we see that unification fight possibly sometime in 2019, Jay? Where does that stand, or is that just totally off the table right now?
Well, it would be 2020.
I mean, 2020. I'm sorry, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, 2019 would be fine with me, but
yeah, that's not going to happen.
No way to get that done. But I'll tell you, absolutely, unification has been the goal from day one. There should be one face, one name, one champion in boxing, and we obviously believe that's Deontay Wilder. I think the thing about it is, back in the day in football, you had the AP and the UPI, and sometimes they each had a national champion, and it wasn't the same team, and people didn't like that, and so they took steps as the years went by to make it one champion, and boxing should be the same way. There should be no confusion about who the champion is. And as far as Joshua and Ruiz, that's a great fight. It's a great rematch. Andy Ruiz pulled the upset and knocked out Anthony Joshua before. It really comes down to who handles their current situation. Can Anthony Joshua handle coming back from a defeat, or is there still doubt in his mind?
Right.
Can Andy Ruiz handle success?
Right.
It sounds like it's easy to handle success, but I'm telling you, having been through it, when 20 people aren't calling you a day, it's 400.
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting 50 to 100 emails a day with business ideas and appearance requests and things people want you to do, and you're trying to be a nice guy and you're trying to do everything for everybody. If Andy Ruiz can't handle that, he will be worn out by the time he walks in that ring. So it really comes down to who handles their current situation and who's able to do that best.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We got Deontay and Ortiz coming up November 23rd, Ruiz and Joshua December 7th. Deontay and Fury looming in early 2020, and then maybe down the road later in 2020, a unification fight to get these belts all.
It's a great time. It's a great time.
The best time.
We went through some downtime where you just had the Dominic Klitschko brothers, and they're great fighters, Hall of Famers, but not particularly exciting. And European, and had a huge crowd fan base over there, but they weren't fighting in America very much. And so since the days where you had Bo and Holyfield and Tyson and Lewis, this is the best thing since that. And believe it or not, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is the best thing since then. This era that we're in, we've got a lot of excitement and a lot of young guys coming up too. So I think it's a great time. It
is. It's a great time to be a heavyweight boxing fan. All right, one more time, Jay. Where, when, and what, and how, and all on Wilder and Ortiz.
It's going to be Deontay Wilder against Luis Ortiz, a rematch of a fantastic fight. And this is going to be at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on November 23rd. It's a great Christmas present early. It's a great early Thanksgiving thing. November 23rd. Thanksgiving's the next week, and it's going to be on Fox pay-per-view, which Fox is in the pay-per-view business now, and they've done quite well. So this is going to make Deontay a huge, huge star, and we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fantastic thing from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on November 23rd.
Can't wait. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you so much, Eric. Bye-bye.
All right, Jay Deas with us. Update there on Deontay Wilder.